Okay, let's dive right into this explainer titled How to Identify the Causes of Suffering, Past and Present, also known as Samudaya. Today, we're going to explore an absolutely profound, game-changing concept directly from the original teaching of the Lord Buddha. We are going to look closely at the exact microscopic mechanics of how our own minds create stress, anguish, and dissatisfaction. And I promise you, by the end of this explainer, you are going to look at your daily frustrations in a completely different light. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The foundation, Samudaya. 2. Old versus new Samudaya. 3. Seed, sap, and soil. 4. The mental data cloud. 5. The highly relatable mosquito bite test. And finally, 6. Breaking the cycle. So, part 1. The foundation, Samudaya. What actually causes our suffering? Right, so this brings us to Samudaya. According to the original teachings, Samudaya essentially translates to the underlying cause that arises together with suffering. Look, when pain or discomfort hits you, there's this immediate instinctual reflex in your mind to just reject it, right? You want it to go away. And I want you to know, this is an entirely normal human mechanism. Because we're human beings with existing defilements, this natural pushback against pain is just an established truth of our body and mind. It's totally built in.
Part 2. Old versus new Samudaya. Let's uncover the hidden mental trap.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is the distinction between old and new. Old Samudaya is that natural existing craving we literally just talked about, that immediate knee-jerk rejection of pain. It just pops up alongside suffering. But here is the real danger, new Samudaya. This happens when that natural craving goes unobserved, when we just react without any mindful awareness. That unrecognized craving secretly transforms, and it becomes the direct cause, the absolute foundation for brand new suffering. It basically drags you into a whole new narrative of distress. No way we want that, right? Moving to part 3, seed, sap, and soil. How new suffering takes root. To really visualize exactly how this new suffering takes root, the original teaching of the Lord Buddha uses this incredibly striking agricultural metaphor. It's like planting a tree. In the mind, vijnana, or consciousness, acts as the seed. Then you have tanha, which is craving or desire, acting as the sticky sap inside the plant that gives it its vitality. And finally, kama, our actions, serves as a soil. Whenever you have an unobserved reaction, when new samudaya kicks in, these 3 elements instantly gather together. The seed drops into the soil, it's bound by the sticky sap of craving, and boom, it plants a brand new existence known in Pali as bhava. Part 4. The mental data cloud. Where do these unobserved reactions actually go? Enter the Bhavanga-citta. This is the foundational state of the mind. I kind of think of it as a quiet background hard drive. Every single time you see, hear, smell, taste, touch, or think something, and you fail to process that experience with the mindful awareness of the 4 noble truths, well, it doesn't just vanish into thin air. It gets swept right into the Bhavanga-citta. It's basically a massive accumulation of unprocessed experiences, just waiting in the dark. And this brilliantly illustrates a really modern way to look at it. You can literally think of the Bhavanga-citta just like a digital data cloud. Every single unrecognized new samudaya, every time you blindly react to someone cutting you off in traffic or a frustrating email, you are secretly uploading a data file to your mental cloud. It just sits there as a seed, as a latent tendency, waiting for the absolute perfect conditions to be downloaded into a new state of existence, a brand new cycle of suffering in your future. Part 5. The mosquito bite test. Let's look at a real, everyday application. Okay, I want you to imagine you're meditating, or maybe you're just sitting quietly reading a book, and a mosquito bites you. What truly happens in your mind in the exact fraction of a second you scratch that itch? I really want us to slow down time right now and look at this automatic human reaction under a microscopic lens. First off, there's the physical itch. That sensation and that immediate rising urge in your mind to just scratch it is simply old samudaya. This is a 100% natural reaction of the khandhas, the aggregates that make up your physical and mental form. Look, you have a body, so it's gonna itch. You have a mind, so it wants relief. As we established earlier, this is totally normal. But right here is where the trap snaps shut. If you just mindlessly scratch the itch without being aware of the craving driving your hand, you create this secret pleasure and the relief. Your mind briefly revels in the feeling of, oh man, that's so much better. That unchecked pleasure, that lack of mindful awareness, generates bhava, a new existence. You've just unknowingly created new Samudaya. And yep, you've uploaded another shiny new seed to your mental data cloud. Now, you might be wondering, what if I just sit there and tough it out? Some people try to be super strict. They feel the itch and they just aggressively stare at it, refusing to scratch, while secretly hoping and wishing it will just go away. Well, actually, scratch that. It's a huge misunderstanding. Watching the itch while secretly wanting it to fade is still engaging in craving. You're still actively resisting reality. You are still generating new Samudaya, just wearing a different disguise. Part 6. Breaking the cycle. How do we stop the upload? So if blindly scratching is a trap and angrily staring at it is also a trap, what on earth do we do? Well, here is the incredible, liberating truth from the original teaching. You can scratch the itch. The Lord Buddha never said you have to sit there in unnecessary agony. But, and this is a big but, you must strictly observe the craving, the samudaya, exactly as it happens. If you feel the urge, and you mindfully note to yourself, okay, this is craving, and then you physically scratch it with pure objective awareness of your action, you bypass the trap. You don't fall into the blind pleasure. You maintain your awareness. Let's quickly summarize this framework because it's highly practical for your very next daily stressor, whether it's an itch, an annoying text, or a sudden burst of anger. First, recognize old samudaya as completely natural. You're allowed to feel discomfort. Second, observe the sensations without secretly craving for them to end. Third, catch the urge to react before it morphs into new samudaya. Just acknowledge the craving objectively. And finally, by doing all this, you keep your Bhavanga-citta, your mental cloud, clear of new seeds of suffering. You literally stop the upload. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question to carry forward. Think about your routine today, your interactions, your minor frustrations. How many unobserved reactions will you unknowingly upload to your mental cloud by tonight? The next time you feel the urge to scratch an itch, literally or metaphorically, will you do it blindly or will you observe it, know it, and finally break the cycle? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you take this powerful lens with you into the rest of your day.